Good evening, chaps, and welcome to another week. And I have just started the brew. Well, I've spent the last hour cleaning, sterilising the whole lot up. Look, I've got chillers over there that's going to cool the wort after it's been boiled, and we've got the Grainfather there with all its might, and we've got all the grains here, and I'm literally just put 17 litres in that little mother, and it's now coming up to temperature. So the Grainfather, it needs to be, my target temperature is 66 degrees, and that chap's gonna, actually I need to lower this in. Ooh. There we go, and all the grains are gonna go in there, and that's heating up nicely. So next step is whack all the grains in, and then that's going to mash away for about an hour. Now, as head brewer at What's on Court, I took the liberty of getting myself some clothing. Now, just see. There we go. What do you think? There we are. Look at that. Some What's on Court brewery attire. So as head brewer, I thought I'd treat myself to a little bit of clothing. Anyway, enough of that. Right, we're just going to wait for that to come up to temperature and get the grains in. Laters. Right, so all this malt is in here, and after giving it a bloody good stir around, I then hook it up. I've hooked it up to the circulation pipe. So basically what it does is that inner case, it's got a filter at the bottom, all the water, what we call as brewers wort, or wort, you have to work that one out, goes at the bottom, and then this pump here recirculates it back up into the top, so it all just filters all through the grain. Ow, bugger me, that's hot. And then, so I'm going to leave that on there and let it mash for another 50 minutes or so. But I think that just needs to do that for 60 minutes. I think I might need to give it a stir. But anyway, recirculating beer, almost beer, around through the grains for 60 minutes. And then we're gonna what do we call it? Sparge it. We're then gonna sparge it. Fantastic. All this terminology. Flange, sparge, mashing. Oh, this is a learning curve. But anyway, next bit is sparging, so laters. So I decided not to brew in the barn, only because there's quite a lot of gear. I've got to hook up to pipes, electricity. I need bits and bobs from the kitchen. You can see I'm boiling more stuff there. That's to drain the grains with during the sparging process. And then yeah, so I thought it's just easier if I do it in the thing, but I'm going to store all the beer in the barn. Cameras, high security, and that's where the beer is going to be stored. But for now, just going to do it in the kitchen. But right, that's all mashed now, and it's ready to sparge and start the boiling and start adding hops and loads of other gear. Laters. And it might just be worth taking note that this is the start of What's on Court's rolling stock beer. A pint of rolling stock. Now, if you see this on the supermarket shelves, you saw it here first. You never know where things take you in life. I mean, I certainly didn't think I was going to be a bloody car dealer, and now I'm brewing beer. But who knows? You never know where life takes you. That's the most interesting and fantastic part of life. But anyway, here we go. Right, there are the grains, all soaked and lovely, and I've just sparged it with a load of boiling water, so I'm just going to let those drain, and then I've put this up to 100 degrees. I'm going to let that boil for an hour, and then add some hops as we go. Piece of cake, piece of bloody cake. I'm thoroughly enjoying this brewing malarkey. It smells, the whole house stinks of hops, and I'm absolutely sweating my arse off. Not taking off the the gear though. But it's no, it's bloody hot in here. Michelle's about to walk through the door, and it's a bloody mess. But that's what us brewers have to do. Anyway, boil, hops, and we'll see you later. Right, I'm time to add the hops now, and I've got these little like hop pellets, like dried compact hops, and I've got to add these at the start of the boil, so now, and then I've got another load to add 45 minutes later, then another load to add a bit later on, and another load to add much later on, like a week down the line. But God, they smell wonderful. But they're going in this. I'm going to put them in here, and I'm going to hook that in the vat. Hook that in the vat. Once all the grains are in there, it's going to soak through into the bottom chamber, and then I'm going to hook this up, and then it's going to boil, and it's all going to start getting the aroma of the hops. So they're going in there. Having a bit of a fug up in here. Look, it's all getting misty and hot, and it's going to get hotter as well because that's not up to boil yet. But right, hops. First load of hops going in now. Right, I've just put the hops in, and it smells unbelievable. I'm amazed how quickly those hops have just filled the air of just beautiful beery goodness. Have a look. And you can't really see the hops in there, but they're in that sort of strainer. But look at that. We're brewing bloody beer. That's proper brewing. Look at that. It's all on a rolling boil, and the hops, the smell of the hops is incredible. Now we're brewing. Now we are brewing. Michelle's just arrived, and she's decided she's going to start cooking supper. Right, in the middle of the brewery. So, so it's going to be a right old fug up in a second. Ladies. You are witnessing the first glimpse of the first batch of rolling stock by What's on Court. Look at that. This is all now going through a chiller, so that went up to 100 degrees, and this is now, all the beer is now being pumped in here around this hose here, and then out here, but it's also being cooled by, I've rigged it up to the tap over there, so it's flowing cold water around the whole thing, cooling the whole thing, whacking in that tub, and that's where it's going to stay for the next week or so. Exhausting, absolutely exhausting, but we're done brewing. That is it. And what's the time now? It's about 9 o'clock, and I think I started at 5 o'clock. And now I've got to clean all the gear up when that's all filled up, add the yeast and all that sort of stuff, put it to bed for a week. There we go. That's it. First batch of rolling stock. Ladies. Good morning, Monday morning, and well, it's actually Monday lunchtime, but we start the week with a very interesting meeting with Dealer Kit, who we've just signed up to, or with, and we've just had our onboarding this morning. Very interesting. I think that's going to be a bit of a game changer with everything. But right, last week's video, a lot of you, and in fact the last few weeks, people have been saying, right Sam, just paint the bloody golds black and take the bloody stickers off and turn it into a half decent car and just black everything out. You might have a chance of selling it. So I'll take a note, and I'm going to take this puppy down and have it resprayed, all the gold bits taken off, have the wheels all done black. I think they'll look great against the red calipers there, and basically just de-pimp it and then just get it up for sale. Try that, re-photograph it and see if we can get it sold. So note taken. Thanks chaps. So that's what we're going to do. I've also got to get this all ready for for collection, I think, on Wednesday. So this just needs a good old clean, a good old check over, make sure everything's working, which I know it is, but just make sure it is. Sort all the paperwork out, all that sort of stuff. And I need to go and pick up the Q7 from the body shop. But actually, I may as well take the bloody ST. Yes, of course. Take the ST, pick up the Q7, bring it back to base. You see we're pretty chocker here, so I might even I need to get some security up on the upper forecourt before I move cars in there, but I'm going to have to do something because I don't have a space for another car. Mind you, the ST will be gone, but anyway, right, better get skates on, better get to the body shop and swap cars around, pick the Q7 up, and then it'll probably be time to pick up the kids. Laters. Right, that's the ST down at the body shop. Done the school run and back at the bloody workshop with furniture days. Back at the office. So I had a chat with a guy down at the body shop, and we had a good old look around, and he loves those STs, and he was saying, because Sam, you know, there's loads of red in the car. You've got red seats, you've got bits of red here. How about we do that little bottom black gold bit at the back of the car in red? And I was like, well, do I need to pull out the Farrenball colour chart and pick the right red? And he said, no, just leave it with me, and I'll sort it out and I'll make it look fantastic. So we're going to sort all the gold out, all the stickers are going to come off, the wheels are being reconditioned, and they're being powder coated black, and so all being well, that ST is going to look amazing. So we swapped over the Q7. That's now looking pucker. And a couple of days and the ST will be ready to photograph, up for sale, and get the punters in. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. New ST. So other than that, more inquiries have been coming in. So we've got one on the Mini, and we've got another one on the grey Qashqai, and that's all happening this week. Test drives coming out of our ears now, and we've got more people want to see the Discovery Sport. So we are going to have a busy week, test driving, crunching the deals, and getting some bloody cars sold. So actually, I'm in the office. It's about 7:30, and I'm looking up some brewing stuff, seeing how I bottle it. The brew went fantastically well on Saturday, and I'll give you a little update on that. But it's now all during the fermentation stage at the moment, and I'll show you what it's looking like, and all the air bubbles coming up, and the yeast is all reacting, and it's all coming along swimmingly. So I'm looking forward to probably about a week or so. That's all then going to be ready to bottle. Week, 10 days. When the fermentation has finished, and I'll be checking the alcohol level, make sure that's all stabilised, and yeah, a proper full-on brewing setup. It's brilliant, and then but I'll show you all that a bit later on when I head home. But I'm going to call it a night here. Bloody pheasants cracking on outside, and yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow. Another busy day. White Qashqai, getting all nice and ready for the owners to pick up. And let's shift some cars along. Laters. Right, I'm back at the house, and I thought I'd come and check up on the beer. And it's going absolutely crazy. Look at this. So I've got it here. It all looks horribly murky and everything else like that, but actually it looks worse on camera than it actually is. But so this little chappy here is basically letting all the air out but nothing in. So all the yeast in there is just eating up all the sugars from the grains and what have you, and creating alcohol. And it's just going bonkers. Look at that. So when that, I think that's about in a week's time, that'll all stop bubbling, and that's when the fermentation process is all finished, and then we can start bottling. But look at all that beer. About 40 pints in there. So it's going to be a bit of a painful wait for 7 to 10 days while that does its stuff. God, cripes alive, this little cottage. Tiny little stairway there. So yeah, really looking forward to getting all that bottled. But I won't really need to do any more to that other than measure the alcohol content a bit later on. Anyway, right, I'm going to put my feet up, have a glass of wine, got some sups in the oven, and I've also got a leg of lamb here, and we're going to do something pretty special with that on Wednesday. Well, actually, we're going to make a massive marinade, and we're going to marinate it overnight, but we'll sort that all out later. I've got to do some shopping as well. God, I can't get my bloody words out today. Anyway, latest chaps. Right, Tuesday morning, here we go. I had a phone call last night from the chap that, got a look at that, it's another cracking day. You know, Ravo's a bit frozen. I had a call from the chap that I dropped the ST off, and he said, Sam, can you check your pockets? And I said, sure. And sure enough, there are the keys for the ST. So I'm going to go and run those down to him now. Look at that, it's beautiful. What a lovely sight to wake up to. So I'm going to go down and drop those off to him, and then head to the office. Laters. Right, down at the office on the upper forecourt now, and I've got to get this up for sale. It's a bit misty inside because it was valeted, and I think the carpet's just a bit damp, but I actually might crack open a window there because it's perfect day like this to just dry the old bugger out. So, but I drove this the other day, and it's got a bit of a wobble on the steering at about 40 miles an hour. So I booked that in into the garage. It's going to be test driven and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think I'll wash it and photograph. I think I'll photograph it when it comes back. That's going in tomorrow, I think. But there's a little bit of work needs to be done on that. Not much, but a little bit of work. And I had a call from a woman that we sold a Renault Kangoo to in May time. Just when we started, actually. She's saying, Sam, I've got some awful problems starting the car, and it's a bit sluggish going up the hills. So I said, leave it with me, we'll get it into the garage and see what's going on. I actually gave her a 6-month warranty on that, and so hopefully if there are any little gremlins there, maybe the warranty can help. But yeah, haven't really dealt with much warranty stuff with all the stuff that we sold, which has been great. So this would probably be the first warranty claim if there is one to be had. But we'll keep a close eye on it. But anyway, she bought it over 6 months ago. Well, about 6 months ago. So, you know, looking after the local customers. So we're going to get her into the garage. Lots of cleaning today. The white Qashqai and the grey Qashqai, which is going to be test driven tomorrow. So just get things looking booker. Right, laters. Well, I just had a phone call from the lady who's going to come and test drive that grey Qashqai, and she said, I've just found a car, so I won't be coming to test drive your Nissan. That's happened twice now. That's happened twice in a week, where customers are called up and said, I'd like to make an appointment to view one of your cars. And I say, brilliant, when can you come? He said, well, I'm not available until Wednesday. So, and then the day before Wednesday, between that phone call and the date, they've made themselves available and they've gone out and bought a car. I don't quite understand. I need to try and figure out how we get over that one, because it's happened twice in a week. I'd like to buy a car. Actually, I don't want to buy your car. I've just bought a car. Okay. Right, so we don't have to get that grey one sorted out today, so it's just the white one. So I'm just a bit pissed off. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at the auction list for tomorrow and see if there's anything that tickles my fancy there. And that sort of perks me up a bit. But hey ho, we crack on. Oh, and the Mini lady who wanted to buy a car, has said she's already bought a car. No, I'm only joking. She's called up and said, can she come and view the car? And then I say, yes, when would you like to come? And she says, actually, I don't know when I can come because my diary is looking very full. And I was like, right, okay. So we're waiting to see when she's available. Yeah, so customers are driving me up the bloody wall this morning. Time for a cup of coffee. Right, good afternoon, chaps. It's Wednesday, and I've been a bit shite at filming this week because more admin, more bloody admin. I've never known a profession to throw so much admin your way. Unnecessary admin. It's bloody ridiculous. So, I've been sorting out sort of VAT. This whole bloody VAT margin scheme is just completely throwing everything into the pissing air. And yes, I said we're getting on to dealer kit, and that's hopefully all going to make things run smoothly. But in the meantime, we've got bloody VAT returns to put in, and everything's all over the place. And my biggest weakness is being organised with all that crap, and I hate it, absolutely hate it. Anyway, I've been in the office for bloody days, it feels, and I'm sick and tired of it. So I'm coming out and I'm going to chat to you about this boy here. Ooh, back window's open. Mind you, you'll see why I won't give a shit about that in a second, because this chap, I need you to help me make a couple of decisions. This Amarok, we paid around about £15,000 for it, and Auto Trader retails it at about 19 and a half. We got it with an engine management light on, which ended up being a knock sensor, so we got that sorted out for £1,000. Done and dusted. She runs beautifully, so there's no problems there. I think we put some brake pads on it, so in total I think that bill came to £1,100. Now we've got a couple of issues. This top here was put on when the previous owner bought it, and he bought it off eBay, and he bought it off eBay, and the garage he bought it from fitted it, and we've got a slight problem because this whole thing is completely, and I mean completely, seized. So not just the lock, but the whole handle. So I've had 3 locksmiths, a body shop, all have a look at this, and they've all just torn their hair out and said, look, without smashing this glass or breaking it whilst trying to get this off and being able to lock it, they can't do it. No one can do it, and we've had some pretty skilled chaps have a go. So we've had to look high and low of where this hood was made or who put it on. Nothing. There's no sign of anything inside. We've contacted manufacturers of these. None of them know whose it is. I'm hoping maybe someone will be able to tell me who made that hood. And if you did make it, put some bloody stickers in the next ones you do. So anyway, we can't do anything with this, because if we break this, we can't get another one of those. If we can't get another one of those, it makes the whole thing completely useless. So here's my thinking. I had a look on Auto Trader, and I suddenly thought, well, the Auto Trader retail price for this car, if this was fitted aftermarket, then the valuation of this car will assume that that's not on it. So I had a quick look, and sure enough, it doesn't include that. So the valuation of this truck excludes that top cab, whatever you want to call it. So I could take that top cab off and just sell it as a pickup truck, and not lose any money, and maybe put that on eBay for maybe a couple £100 or something like that. Whoever wants it with a completely seized handle. So you can see my predicament. I've got. Do I try and find a way of fixing that? But I certainly can't find a way of fixing it unless anyone knows who made that hood. So that's step number one. Who made that hood? If we can't find that, then that hood's coming off that bloody truck, and that truck's going to get sold at 19.5 grand, and then it's going to go out the bloody door. You can tell what kind of day I've had today, can't you? Just miserable in front of the computer, just getting angry at things like that going wrong, and yeah, sometimes you have these days. And so I thought I'll put that to you chaps and let you tell me what you'd like me to do with that. Yeah, laters. Right, evening chaps. It's Wednesday night, and Wednesday is normally a cook-off night, but as I've already done a cook-off this week with the beer, I thought I'd spare you the pain of watching me cook a supper for the kids this evening. But I don't have the kids tonight, but it's Wednesday, so I'm still going to cook, and I've already cooked. So I've cooked something rather fantastic, and you saw that leg of lamb earlier on. Well, I pasted it, and I made a Lebanese spice mix. And I've just got the little mother out of the oven after putting it in at about 12 o'clock today. And bearing in mind, it's now about 7 o'clock on about 150 degrees. Look at this. Oh my golly God. Now, I think the camera's showing that as looking a bit burnt, but it's not at all. And I've got all the juices in here, and this is just absolutely beautiful. This is a leg of lamb. I literally marinated the whole thing in a ton of Lebanese, well, made a Lebanese spice last night, and then marinated it in the fridge overnight, and then slow cooked it for about 5 hours. And look at this, it's just falling off the bone. And I'm going to mix it all up in here. Look at all that juice and everything. Oh my word. And then I'm going to put it in some, I think we're just going to have it in some flatbreads or something like that. But I'll save a bit of that because the kids are coming tomorrow instead of today. So that's all done. But what a dish. Look at all that. Oh my word, here you go, here you go. Bugger me. Fuck me backwards. Jesus Christ, that's delicious. So Michelle's coming over in a minute. We're going to devour that whole pan. Well, we can't do the whole thing. Got to leave some for the kids. But that is quite sensational. I think this is one of my favourite dishes to have with lamb. And as lamb, currently, if you've got a Sainsbury's near you, it is currently half price. So go and get yourself a leg of lamb and go and do something wonderful with it. Slow cook it, make it pink, whatever you want to do this Sunday, whatever's going to happen. Go and get a leg of lamb and go and take advantage of that deal because it's half price. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, that's perked my day up because I had a shit day in the office today. As I said, with all the admin, the bloody VAT and insurance. The insurance drives me up the wall because... anyway, I'm not getting into it. I'm not going to bore you all that. But what a lovely supper we've got tonight. Anyway, laters. Morning, chaps. It's Thursday morning, and we're up a little earlier this morning because we've got to go and hand over the white Qashqai. But before we do that, we've got to get this into the garage, the Freelander. The Freelander is having its wobble sorted out, and it's having a bloody good service. So, and I've already had a few punters come by and take interest in this. So I think this is going to fly out the door. Whoa. Yeah, I think it's going to fly out the door, this. Bloody Kodiak there. Been here for bloody ages. And I keep reducing the price on it, and now it's like at a price where by, you know, barely making anything on it. Seems to be the way with some of these cars at the moment. Every day I look on Auto Trader, the prices just keep going down and down and down. Not quite sure why, but it makes it very difficult to just have something at a great price on Auto Trader, and then the next day it's good price because the price, you know, the value's fallen. So you drop it by a little bit more to keep it in the great price range, and then next day it's in the good price range. The Volvo especially, the Volvo has just bloody crashed down, I think about 500 quid recently. So yesterday Michelle and I had a big cull on pricing. But thank God we had reasonable margins in the cars in the first place. But otherwise we'd be left with absolutely nothing. I mean, even as it stands, we're not left with much. Anyhow. Right, to the garage in Freelander. Here it is. Bye. Right, chaps, that was the Qashqai all delivered, and went absolutely smoothly. But weirdly, the customer said, "Oh, Michelle, I recognise you," because Michelle has a business where she does a parenting thing, and she's quite well known around the country. And she went, "I recognise you from your parenting business." And anyways, and she has a breastfeeding business. So we handed over the car and had a good old natter about breastfeeding, and even picked up a flyer. What a bizarre handover that was. Anyway, but we got back to the office, and we had a horrendous phone call with our insurance company, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But Michelle and I need to do some thinking, and we've come to the pub, Tally Ho, for lunch, and we're going to discuss it over a pie and a pint, because it's quite serious. So I'll tell you about that very shortly. But anyway, I've just arrived at the Tally. Michelle's on her way. I've got my breastfeeding leaflet, so I'm going to study that, make some inquiries, and I'll tell you how it all goes and what's happened, because it ain't nice, it ain't pretty. Anyway, laters. So while I'm waiting for Michelle to arrive, I thought I'll just give you an update on what has actually happened. So, as you probably saw that the last week or week before, when I couldn't film, there's so much admin to do, and part of that admin was insurance, updating all the insurance and what have you. And I'm going to cut a long story short and explain why, but as it stands, we're not insured. So we set up the insurance policy. There's two different policies. There's a road risk, which covers you in an accident when you're test driving or when you're driving the cars and what have you. And also there's a liability insurance. So, you know, the stock of your cars in the forecourt, so theft, fire, all that sort of stuff. So two separate policies, and I think we had to have two separate policies because we're quite new and unestablished. So we had to have two policies, so we got it all set up. And I did just think, well, I'll give the insurance company a call and just make sure belt and braces. In the event of X, Y, or Z happens, then all fine. So we I called them up, and they said, "Oh, by the way, your cars are in a secure compound." Yes. How do you get to that compound? I said, well, you drive into the driveway of our office is, where it's a converted barn through some gravelled area, and then which is a secure area. And then you come to our forecourt, which is another secure area within the secure area. And they went, "Oh, hang on a second. Is that a shared space that you have to drive through to get to your to get to your secure area? And I said, yes, you have to go through a secure gate to then drive through a communal little gravel area to then come to our secure gate where all the cars are. And they went, well, because you have to travel through a communal area, we're not going to insure you. And I was like, how come? They couldn't give me an answer. They said, because it's shared. I don't see how that makes any difference. I mean, a forecourt on the side of a road, if they're worried about general punters sort of having access to your cars, well, isn't that the same on any kind of forecourt that's on the side of a road? Anyone could turn into a forecourt and there the cars are. So anyway, the insurance had a right old, things started getting a little bit heated with the insurance company, and so as it stands, we're not insured. Well, we kind of are insured, because I said, you make sure you insure us, because you never ask these questions beforehand, and if anything happens, it's on your head. And they've given us 7 days to get things insured with another policy or do something. I mean, there must be a policy out there, but he was saying there won't be a policy out there that will insure your cars with access through a shared entrance. I mean, it sounds bloody obscure. I mean, I can't get my head around it. So we've got to figure out what to do. Later on, I'll show you the I'll show you the entrances. I'll show you the exact walkway through to our cars. I mean, it's a complete joke what they're saying, but we're not insured, which is a big problem. Big problem, because we've got a lot of stock, and it needs to be insured. So I mean, the agent rattled through everything that they normally do. Yes, no, never asked us these questions, and then forked out a ton of money for the insurance. Trying to get that money back now, cancel insurance without fees and all that sort of stuff. Going through all the conversations that we had on the phone, all the recorded conversations, saying that we were missold it and all that sort of stuff. So, what a palaver! I mean, all this bollocks that you have to go through, and actually all you want to do is get cars prepped, buy cars, get good cars, find the customers, show them the cars, and sell the bloody cars, and stop pissing around with all this bloody red tape and nonsense. So if anyone's looking at this and is an insurance broker and thinks that he can help us out, give me a call. Personally, give me a call, and you've got a deal. So yeah, that's that. But I will show you the. I'll walk you through the whole access thing when I get back to base. But we're going to sort of cool our jets and have some lunch. Anyway, Michelle's going to arrive soon, so laters. Right, chaps, what a lovely lunch that was. And I am with a cup of tea, and Wayne very kindly came and joined us for lunch in the end. Well, cup of coffee. But I thought I'd bring you out to the entrance and talk to you a little bit more about this insurance jobby. So these, I'll show you what they're concerned about, and that's right in front of me here. Right, so we've got a couple of electric gates that get closed and everything, and this is the problem. So to get to there's our barn, office on the ground floor there. So in order to get these are the car parking spaces for all the other chaps in the office, and they've got to drive through here. That gate back there was a secure locked electric gate. There's the old Ravo, and then another gate into our compound here, all tucked away nicely, out of sight. Actually, we've only got a few cars here. The others are all up on the upper forecourt, but waiting to come down. So that's the journey. That's the problem. That car park there, where people have to come through, and that's making us uninsured. I mean, you tell me if that's ridiculous or not. I mean, am I missing something, or? Anyway, so that's our problem. So we need to get on with that, and we did chat about it over lunch, and we just got to find a solution, or someone else can help us find a solution. But yeah, the upper forecourt's up there, and we've got cars filling up there as well. Anyway, I've just picked Ted up from school, and he's in the office having a bit of fun. So I'm going to go and pick Monty up now, and we're going to go back for a nice good supper, movie night by the fire, and just forget about everything for the next 12 hours or so. So we'll catch you later. Bye. Morning, chaps. It's Friday morning, and I'm in the Freelander. It's come back from having its service done, and remember that wobble? They said, yes, we've test driven it. We've actually found that the back brakes were binding and everything, so we've freed them all up, and we've serviced the car, we've taken it for a drive, and the wobble has gone. It's not gone. So I drove it down the road, and the bloody wobble's there. So either they didn't take it out for a test drive, or they're being bloody lazy. So I'm about to go and have a word with them, because if they think that the wobble's gone on it, it bloody well hasn't gone. It's shaking to bits. So I'm a bit peed off with this bloody garage. I'm not naming the garage, but you know, they've just played their joker as far as I'm concerned, because yeah, it's happening a couple of times, and we got to shake that one off. Anyway, so the Q7 went in to have all its flange sorted out, and the coolant leak. I'm heading off to Bournemouth this evening because it's my sister's 40th birthday, so we're heading to Bournemouth for the night and having a good old party there. So we're going to be finishing early this week, but I'm going to get this back up to the office. I've just given it a little tinkle at Morrison's, and I'm going to get it up for sale. It needs to go on Auto Trader, Sharpo, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to, while it's all clean, and then I'm going to take it back down to the garage and say, what the bloody hell's going on? This bloody wobble. I'm going to get the bugger sitting here, and I'm going to get him to feel that wobble. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And then a few other bits and bobs, get it photographed beforehand, up for sale, and then get ready to party. Anyway, we'll catch you later. Bye. Right, I'm just back from the garage, and we went for a drive with the mechanic, and the whole car wobbled like anything on the way there, and then he jumped in the passenger seat, and I was like, here you go, son, listen to this. How on earth could your mechanics miss this? I went for a drive, not a wobble at all. We must have driven about 20 miles, nothing, absolutely nothing. So, and when this thing wobbles, it shakes the whole car. It really does, and and it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. Like, what the hell is that? Why is that? I've got a slight difference in tread on one wheel or the other, but if that was the case, it would wobble all the time. Tracking's fine. I just don't understand what would cause an intermittent wobble like that. So he's like, all right, Sam, yeah, where's this wobble? I'm like, the car shook itself to pieces on the way here. So I don't really know what to do with that. So I'm going to see what it's like from cold on Monday, give it a drive and see if there's any pattern to it, because it may be something after something's heated up or warmed up, it doesn't do it, or only does it when it's cold. So I need to explore that. But we've got a customer coming in, and Michelle's about to go and do a test drive in the Ford Focus. So that's she has her cars to do test drives in, and I have my cars. But so she's got a customer, so she needs to sell this bloody car. Final push for the week on the Friday. We'll see how it goes. Laters. And there she goes. Oh, was that a stall? Oh, she hasn't got the trade plates in. Oh, Rochelle. I wonder what her test drive chat is like. So, have you been looking for a car long? Oh, right. Yeah. Have you noticed how she slips like butter through second and third gear? I once had one of these. They absolutely did me right. What a wonderful car they are. You never see these in garages anymore. They're so reliable. That's what my chat's like. No, it's not quite like that. I'm sure she's probably talking. Yeah, they're probably nattering about breastfeeding or complications with child behaviour, something like that. But I'm sure it's going fantastically well. Well, good luck, Michelle. Right, I'm going to get this back in the lower forecourt. I'm then going to go into the office, wrap things up for the week, and then I'm done. And I'm heading off to Bournemouth. Got to go and get a birthday card and whatnot from Totnes, and then heading to Bournemouth. But I will see you chaps later. Try and do a little bit tomorrow. We'll be back at base tomorrow. Laters. Right, good afternoon, chaps. It's Saturday evening, and back from Bournemouth. And I'll be totally honest with you, I'm feeling a little bit fluffy around the gills today. What a night! What a night in Bournemouth. God, did we party. But anyway, we're back at base, and I can't even bear the sound, the flavour, the thought of a pint to do my weekly roundup. So I'm doing it in the office, albeit a little bit jaded. But as you saw, the biggest issue this week was the bloody insurance, and we need to get that all sorted out. But I think we will. You know, we don't really. Whenever we get a challenge like this, we usually overcome it, and I'm sure we will. Sorry if the audio is a bit funny. I've completely lost all the microphones and everything. I haven't a clue where they are, so I am au naturel this evening. But yes, that's the biggest problem this week was that insurance. But we've now actually got, although that we've had leads this week, we've now got 4 or 5 cars with very strong leads. We've got finance going through for 2 cars that people are wanting to see. They haven't seen them yet. They're getting all the finance ready before they see them. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you would want to come and have a look at the car first. But we have a broker who is organising the finance on our behalf, as we're not FCA regulated yet. So so that's happening, and so we've still got the Mini customer, Mini, Discovery, Grey Qashqai, and we've got the Ford Focus, all very, very, very good hot leads. So although nothing shifted this week, I hope there's going to be a bit of a shift next week. We've got, they all sound quite exciting, so it just takes a little bit of time to get them sold. I don't think we've ever had someone walk in and say, yep, I'm going to take it, and then literally drive off the following day. They've all had to go and have a little think. Maybe I need to work on my closing of the sale talk, but I'll work on that soon. So yeah, another week has gone, and biggest issue was the insurance, as I said, and we've got that Amarok to sort out. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week. The beer's coming on fantastically well. We're about to start bottling. In fact, I had all the bottling stuff delivered today, but it got delivered to completely the wrong address, so I've got to go and find that somewhere. Anyway, right, ladies chaps, take care. Bye.